What is up, YouTube? KM888 here with the fourth part of my test hand videos for this deck. Same build as yesterday, so I haven't made any changes. I'm just gonna go and hop right into it. We ended on a strong note yesterday because the last test hand we did was actually pretty good. Although I have to say that I'm still learning this. Like, it's 48 cards and everything that you draw is like different kind of feels, and it's just so hard to make the right decisions. I know that sometimes my feels aren't that great, but it's just me misplaying still with the deck, and that's why I'm doing like all these test hand videos and I'm doing the tournaments online. I need to learn the deck in a proper way, so doing this actually helps me, and I hope it also helps you because you see what I do, and together we can actually get better. So yeah, let's get into this. So for our first opening hand, Time Gazer, yes, starting off with a brick. Widow Anchor, another brick. Knowledge, why? Abductor, and Duelist Alliance. That is actually ass. Okay, let's see. First things first, I'm gonna go with the Abductor, of course, because yeah, I kinda need it. Gonna go with Duelist Alliance. Oh, extra deck is the other way around. There we go. So we're gonna go with Pendulum Call. And we don't actually have a way to fetch out Electromite before the Pendulum Summon, so this could actually be a terrible field for us. So yeah, let's see. We're gonna go Pendulum Call, and we're going to ditch the Widow Anchor, because we might still be able to use the Knowledge if we draw the right card from Electromite. So yeah, let's see what happens. So yeah. I'm gonna search two, and the ones I'll be searching are a High Scale and a Harmonizing, so we're going to pick Dragon Pit and Harmonizing Magician. This gets us a second counter on the Abductor. And now we can go Dragon Pit, and we have 3 counters. Now, to remedy some of the things we do, we're gonna search out the Dark Worm. This will at the very least mean that we get, that we'll be getting some searches. Yeah, I'm going to Pendulum Summon already. It seems like really terrible, but I'll have to do it like this. So, going to Pendulum Summon the Time Gazer over here, Dark Worm in the middle, and a Harmonizing here. I'm going to go Harmonizing, Chain Dark Worm. With Dark Worm, I'm going to go and add myself the Gate 0. And then with the Harmonizing, let's special out the Purple Poison Magician. And right now, I'm going to go and link away into Electromite. And with Electromite's effect, I'm going to send Chronograph Sorcerer. Simple reason, with Harmonizing and Time Gazer, I can go Meteor Burst, special the Dragon Pit Magician for all I care, and with the Gate 0 it's in my hand and the Chronograph, I can get 2 more bodies on the field. So I can still get to Appaloosa and Vortex pretty easily. So yeah, first things first, I'm gonna go and synchro these off into Meteor Burst. And with Meteor Burst effect, I'm going to special summon the Dragon Pit. I'm going to overlay into Absolute. And now I'm going to use the Electromite effect. So I'm going to pop the Abductor. I'm going to get the Chronograph. And I'm going to go chaining 1 Electromite, chaining 2 Chronographs. So I'll special summon these 2. And I get to draw. Let's see what we'll draw. And it's another Pendulum Call. In this scenario, another brick. Also, if you keep notice, we only have Overdragon Magician in our deck left. So we actually have nothing left. Now what we can do here is we could make Hita, draw 2 cards from the Knowledge, and then still have 2 cards to at least make IP Masquerena with Vortex. That could be a thing, but we could also make Appaloosa for 4. Or make IP Masquerena right now, and make the Appaloosa in the opponent's turn, and with the Vortex coming out at that point, it's actually also a good thing. So I'm going to do that. It does seem like the better option in this scenario. The field is really weak, but it can be really strong as well, depending on what matchups you're playing at. So yeah, you don't have a lot, but during the opponent's turn you can negate attacks coming up to the Masquerena, and if you do that you get another summon of the Meteor Burst with the Absolute, so that's actually a thing. And then you can always use the Masquerena to link summon into either a Phoenix, a Unicorn, or a... what's it called here? Or the Appaloosa, so that's always a thing. Field seems really weak, but you're going to end up with a couple of negates that way, at the very least, so yeah. We do start off bad, like in these videos. I don't know why. The deck maybe hates me if in the first test hand video and every time. But I mean, at this point you can see what I do. If I brick, I just hope for the best, and more or less, like sometimes, like not everyone's playing hand trap, so it does work out. Thing is, I don't really power shuffle. Like that could actually be a factor. Maybe I should power shuffle. Let's see after this test hand. So yeah. Abductor, multi-roll, Secrets, Dragon Pit, and Duelist Alliance. It's actually way better. It's not the best, but we can try and work things out from here. So I'm gonna go Abductor, I'm gonna go Duelist Alliance, and just because I'm searching, I'm also going to put up the Secrets already. This is going to get us 2 counters anyways, so let's see, this searches this one. This searches that. So we end up with this in our hand. And now we're gonna go and normal summon the Prophecy, Spellbook Boy, getting us the Knowledge. Now a cool draw here would of course be anything to start off our combo. Although we can just search it with the Abductor anyways, chronograph into Time Gazer, stuff like that. What we can also do is like, this is like really cool. I'm gonna go Knowledge, I'm going to dump this to draw 2. And that's actually our 3rd spell. And as you can see, our hand doesn't seem really good, but because it's a 3rd spell, Abductor effect into Darkworm, and we have Darkworm Pendulum Call. If I ever find the Darkworm, because I'm only playing 1 anymore. So only running 1 Darkworm actually isn't a big deal. I had the Pendulum Call and I just went for it with the Abductor. I do think that in like the previous game I couldn't do that because I needed a Pendulum Call to go to 3 counter on the Abductor. Well, things happen. I don't want to... Do I want to set? I'm going to set the Servant in scale because I have the multi-roll to get rid of the Abductor if any hand traps would happen. So if I would be stopped, I can always go multi-roll, pop the Abductor. So my scales aren't stuck. So yeah. Right now I'm gonna go Pendulum Call. I'm going to ditch the Darkworm, and I'm going to search myself 2 Magicians. I already have the Dragon Pit, so I'm going to search for the Oath Dragon and the Harmonizing. This is actually why the Magicians are still important. Having Pendulum Call fixes your scales in any given moment. I don't know how many people know this, but if you're playing pure Endymion, the biggest problem of the deck is not having the correct scales. Because you don't have much ways to search, and so you're often going to get stuck with a decent board, but you haven't Pendulum Summoned because you didn't have the cards. The Magicians actually solve that. They are kind of bricks in deck, but I do like them for the versatility of having your scales at all times, so yeah. This is of course going to put some more counters on my cards, so 1 counter on the Abductor, 1 counter on the Servant. Right now, I'm going to use the Darkworm's effect. I'm going to special summon it and add myself the gate 0. So gate 0 up to the hand. There we go. Alright, now I'm just going to go multi-roll, give myself 2 more counters, 1 on each. And I'm going to pop my abductor with the multi-roll to free up my scale so I can get the third one with for the servant. So this is the 3rd counter. And as you already know, because I popped a card with a multi-roll, my opponent can't activate my spell activations anymore. So as soon as I put up scale, they can't respond to the activation. So player priority comes back to me. So that's actually a really good thing. Things like Twin Twister and stuff, Cosmic Cyclone. The interaction gets a bit more weird, so that's actually a good thing. I'm going to go Servant Effect. I'm going to special summon it. And once again, I have summoned the blue boy. So that's 1, 2, 3, Jackal is 4, Electromite is 5. So I'm in Nibiru range from the Electromite. So I really need to put up the Jackal King. If I wasn't in Nibiru range, like the Electromite was the 4th summon, could easily go for Endymion. So for the Mighty Master. But right here, you really want to go for the Jackal King. One thing to keep in mind, because I'm playing Magical Abductor, if it so happens you banish all the Jackal Kings, the Master of Magic, your Reflection, Cerberus, with the Desires, shit happens, you never know. Magical Abductor is also a monster you can put counters on with more than 1000 attack, so you can summon Magical Abductor from the deck with the Servant, so yeah. We're having counters. Right now, I do want a card that I can pop with Electromite in the scale. So I'm going to scale up my gate 0. We're still having a 0 to 8 scale, so my opponent, even if they have impermanence for the Electromite, they aren't going to stop me at that point. So I'm going to link these two away. I'm going to go into Electromite. And with Electromite's effect, I'm pretty much free to send whatever I want, because I have my 2 level 4s just in case I just need to Pendulum Summon that. I'm going to get a level 7 in there. I have the Harmonizing already. I'm going to have Oath Harmo and Dragon Pit, so I can add something back. In this scenario, I think I want something that I can get into my hands pretty easily. So I'm actually gonna go and... Also, I don't want the Abductor anymore because I don't have enough spells. So I'm gonna go for the Garuda. So let's see. So sending the Garuda to the extra deck. I'm going to add that to my hand, just as another interruption for the opponent. So Electromite's effect, going to pop the gate 0. I'm gonna get the Garuda into my hand, and I'm going to get another draw. The draw being Time Gazer Magician. It's actually a terrible draw, but in this hand it doesn't really matter. Let's see. I'm gonna go with Oath Dragon, giving us another 2 counters. And right now we can actually Pendulum Summon pretty easily. We don't have Magicians yet, but that doesn't really matter. We're just gonna go and Pendulum Summon. Let's see. It would be pretty cool to end... Okay, so I'm going to Pendulum the Harmonizing. I'm going to Pendulum Summon... Let's see... I've already had my normal summon... Yeah. So the easiest thing, because I drew my Time Gazer, I can't really Pendulum Summon it out from the Harmonizing again, is to... summon the Dark Worm at the very least. And on top of that, I'm just gonna go for the Abductor. I don't really care. Harmonizing's effect is going to trigger. I'm gonna summon the Purple Poison. What's on top of my deck? I'm going to link off the harmonizing and the abductor. I'm gonna go for IP Mascarena. And I'm going to overlay my other two into Abyss Dweller. This is a field you can make against anything that's monster heavy based, Thunder Dragon, Orcust, basically the most represented decks in the metagame. The thing that happens here is that they really can't get through this. You have a monster negate for their first initials monster effect. You have the Dweller to stop anything in their graveyard, and then with the IP Mascarena, you're more than likely going to summon a Appaloosa. We still have the Overdragon effect, so we can add the harmonizing back to our hand. And do keep in mind, we have the Garuda in our hand, so as an additional monster bounce to protect your IP Mascarena or to protect our possible Appaloosa play afterwards. So that's really good. Now, if you're not really into this board, you can also not make the IP Mascarena, and instead of summoning the Abductor to go into set Mascarena, you're just going to Pendulum Summon your Time Gazer alongside the Harmonizing instead of the Abductor. So you can make a Dawn Dragster or a Meteor Burst. Meteor Burst can go and special summon the Dragon Pit, and then you can go into Absolute. So that's also a thing. So yeah, it's all things you can do depending on what matchup you actually are up against. So yeah, that's it for the second test hand. I'm gonna do one more for this video, just because it's only been 16 minutes, so it's actually not that terrible for a video. At least not for mine. So yeah, let's see if we can draw any of the Sky Striker stuff now. Haven't drawn that in 2 test videos, so just the Widow Anchor, just the Widow Anchor. The multi-roll, sorry. There it is again. Now, I am shuffling like this, just so you see that I'm not stacking these. I see a lot of people power shuffling, but you can actually stack by power shuffling, so which is crazy. I didn't know you could. As soon as your opponent cuts the deck, it's all run over anyway, so... But hey, that's it, right? Foolish Burial, Jackal King, Chronograph, Pendulum Call, and Darkworm. Actually not terrible. It's not great either. We don't have Servant, we don't have Abductor, so we're not gonna get too many searches. But I'm just gonna go the easy route. First things first, I'm gonna go with Foolish Burial. If people have Ash, they might use it on this. I don't see why, but like if they Ash this, your Pendulum Call is free because you already have the Darkworm. And if this goes through, you can just send the Destrudo. So definitely going to send the Destrudo. If I ever find the Destrudo. The hell? Oh, here it is. Okay, I'm gonna go with Pendulum Call and Darkworm. And the Darkworm comes to the field, fetching the gate 0. We know we're going to get to the gate 0, so we already have a 0 scale. We're gonna go with Dragon Pit and Harmonizing. So let's see. Here's the Harmonizing. Dragon Pit and gate 0. Right here, I'm more than likely going to scale up my Chronograph using the effect, and we're easily gonna go for our Time Gazer. And this is actually like the old combo, like a couple of months ago, but just no Guard Dragons. So yeah, we're gonna go for Time Gazer. Started with two of our Electromite starter cards. That's always a nice thing. We're gonna go and link these away into Electromite. Of course, we don't have a protection for Ghost Ogre and stuff, but like, that doesn't happen anymore. Like seriously. I'm gonna go with Electromite's effect. If they impermanence this, so be it. If they Phantasme on this, so be it. You don't mind. The only thing that you need to have in your thoughts is that you have a Jackal King in your hand already. So we want to be safe against Nibiru, and we need something that we can put counters on. And we're never going to get 2 counters the easy way, because we can go Servant right now, and if we scale that, we can only scale one other thing, so you can never get to 2 counters unless we hard draw a spell from the top of our deck with the Electromite draw. The thing we can do, however, is this. We can go Master Cerberus, and this is like really next level play. We can go Master Cerberus, and instead of using the Electromite to fetch anything that we want, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go Jackal King, and we're going to use the Jackal King's effect, summoning the Master Cerberus to our field. Now, this will prompt the draw effect from Electromite before the returning from extra deck effect. So we're going to draw, and we see that we have a Servant. That's already amazing, so we get an additional thing that we wanted, but it's not necessary. The real necessity here is that we have Master Cerberus. This thing can accumulate counters way faster than the other cards can. So right here, we haven't used our Electromite still, so that's actually a good thing. So we're going to go Servant, we're going to go Gate 0, and we're going to use the Electromite effect to pop the Gate 0. Now keep in mind, Master Cerberus already has 4 counters, so that's actually good. Electromite is going to pop this, and we're going to get ourselves anything we want at the moment. So right here, I basically want to take back our... It doesn't really matter what I pick, so I'm guessing I want to move. I want to move later on, so I'm gonna go and pick the Darkworm. This is already 1 counter on the Servant. And right here we're going to scale the Dragon Pit, giving us a 2nd counter and 2 more on the Cerberus, so we're at 6. And now we're going to Pendulum Summon. So I'm going to summon the Jackal King from the extra deck, just because, well, we need it for the Nibiru. And then we're going to summon these 2 as well. So I'm going to summon the Harmonizing, and I'm going to summon the Darkworm. Harmonizing effect is going to trigger. So at this point, we still have in the deck our Oath Dragon, we have a Purple Poison, and that should be it. Let's see which one we're going to get. It doesn't really matter because we're gonna go into a Appaloosa for 3, and then we can make a Dweller, so that's actually a thing. So, okay. I'm gonna go with Purple Poison Magician, just because this can be used to make a Dweller with. Right now we have 2 counters on the Servant of Endymion, so we have our protection for the Jackal King anyways. I don't really know. I think I'm just gonna use these 2 with the Electromite, and I'm gonna go into Appaloosa like this. This has 3 negates, so that's actually wonderful. Right now we're going to make ourselves a Dweller. So let's see, Dweller, Dweller, Dweller. Dweller in defense. And we're going to use the Destrudo in the grave. Don't forget that we have the Destrudo on the Jackal King. Now we have 2 options. Either we can go and make a Dragster to have a spell negate. If you're aware of what your opponent's playing, it can actually be a thing. What we can also do is make Meteor Burst, go into the Dragon Pit and make an Absolute to protect your Appaloosa for a Pancratops. Game 1, I suggest you go into the Dragster play. It's actually the best if you don't know what you're playing against. Ending Dweller, Dragster, and Appaloosa is actually a solid turn 1 board. more than often they are going to try to get through it. This can't be super polyed, so if they main that, it's a thing that they can't do. Game 2, like after siding, or game 3, whenever you're going first, always go for the meteor burst play, because at that point they're going to use their side deck to go probably into Pancratopsis. So you can actually end on the allies absolute, and you can protect your Appaloosa from attacks. So that way you're completely safe, and if they do happen to kill the absolute, you'll still get your vortex and you can go from there. One downside that you could be having is that Absolute and Dweller are both waters, so if they are playing the Mud Dragon of the Swamp, they can super poly these two away. Doesn't happen a lot, but it has happened to me before. Just a thing, just a heads up. But yeah, those are two instances that you can actually end, and I do suggest that you look into what game it is. If it's game 1 and you had to start, you can easily go into Draxa. If it's game 2 or game 3, you can change your plans. You can go into the absolute play. You can actually do a lot of things. With the Deshudo and Jackal King, you can also go into IP Masquerena to facilitate a unicorn play later in the turn with the Dweller, but I do feel that that's the weaker version because you don't have anything in your hand as well. So yeah. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you guys liked it. Like the first hand was really a weird one again. That's a thing that you could always have, of course. So but most of the time it doesn't happen. So just be happy with what you get, and if the opponent doesn't have hand traps, you can actually make really good boards with bad hands as well, as you've seen. So yeah, I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!